This is the Treu Real Estate 911 podcast with Lisa Treu. Lisa will share up-to-date real estate information with you that you need to know.
Welcome to Treu Real Estate 911. It's Brian Mudd along with your local real estate pro, Lisa Treu. And this year, holy cow, there is so much that is going on. And as it pertains to real estate, it looks like a lot of where we left off last year is where we picked up this year, which means that there is a very busy local real estate market. But what are the best considerations for you right now? Well, Lisa, you are here to tell us exactly the best opportunities for people who are thinking about selling, people who are looking to buy, and also help us avoid mistakes as we get into the new year. Tell us about it.
Yes, Brian, Happy New Year. 2021 is here. We were also excited about it. And in real estate, there's many reasons why we should be excited. And yes, we have to be careful right now. There are mistakes that are happening in the marketplace, and it's costing sellers and buyers thousands of dollars. And I want to make sure our listeners are not having that happen to them.
You know, Lisa, anytime we have a market that's doing especially well, it seems like there is an air of complacency that will enter into the thought process of especially sellers who are thinking that they can just pretty much go along with any agent and everything will just kind of work out. But of course, that is far from the case. And a lot of people leaving a lot of money on the table, too. So tell us some of the mistakes that are taking place, some of the opportunities right now.
Brian, there was a study that sellers are hiring the first agent that they speak to, which is okay if they're speaking to the right agent. 77% of sellers are not interviewing agents, or worse, not vetting agents, meaning they hear something on the radio, they hear from a friend, they meet somebody at a restaurant or a bar, and they say, oh, I'm going to go with that real estate agent, not checking their track record, their marketing plan, what people say about them other than themselves. And I always encourage the people that contact me to look at us. Most of them have. They've read our Google reviews. They've looked at us on Yelp. They have looked at our track record. However, I have to say, our buyer, our seller, they tend to be very educated in the real estate process. But if you're new to selling or new to buying, just picking up and walking into an office or calling an office and hiring the first person could cost you thousands of dollars. And it's so easy to vet that agent. It literally takes 5 minutes of somebody's time.
You know, most aspects of life, if you make a 1% mistake even, just 1%, it's not that big of a deal. You talk about real estate, even 1% is huge, right? I mean, we think about the average property in Palm Beach County. Now you're suddenly talking about 1%, meaning over $10,000, let alone if the mistake ends up being much more than that. You know, you've long been able to sell well above the average agent. Give us an idea of where you sit as we enter the new year in terms of your performance relative to market and how much more you're, through your marketing efforts, often able to obtain for people that list with you.
Well, there's two things that we do very well as a company. One is market, attract the right buyers, the right agents that have buyers to see a home. And secondly is negotiation skills, the ability to get the seller the most amount of money. When we represent a buyer, what we see often with other agents or other experiences is that if you bring them a great offer, they say, wonderful, sellers sign the contract. They're so excited to get a deal. However, and that's great, by the way, to have a property sold. What we do is we want to maximize our client's equity. I believe that every single dime we can get out of our client's house right now, we should be doing. Not just selling it for top dollar, but selling it for the most that the market will allow. We have a 10-point strategy to increase the chances of getting multiple offers. It is an actual strategy. We do things to cause that. It just doesn't happen, Brian. And what I see is that most people don't understand the strategy, and they certainly don't use the strategy. Their goal is to sell the property and sell it quick. And yes, that's our goal too. But we want to sell it quickly for the most amount of money. And I promise you that's generally not happening in the marketplace.
Lisa, typically we take a look at where we sit coming into a new year, where the January real estate market rests, and it's got a different dynamic to it. You already have people that are in for season, and it's underway, and there's kind of the maturation of the process in the real estate market in terms of the types of properties and the buyers. Obviously, due to the pandemic and due to many people that are relocating that maybe can work wherever they want to now, everything's kind of turned on its head. So tell us what's different specifically and what property types are in demand as a result this year.
Everything is in demand this year.
Okay.
It is no longer the typical seasonal property in January that we see a demand for. You know, our active adult communities, our condos, our oceanfront condos, our luxury waterfront seasonal property. This year, there's a demand for everything. There were people from last summer that still have not been able to get a home, believe it or not. And so they're still in the marketplace. There are people that are really scared that in the spring, summer season, there's going to be nothing for them to buy, so they are starting now. People that have leases are starting earlier because they understand that it's a very competitive market. And there's a lot of good news, but there's also some challenges in real estate. We kind of have a K going on. People are either doing really well with real estate or the real estate is not doing well in Palm Beach County. And people don't talk about that. It's all, rainbows and sunshine. The reality is there is a challenge, and we can help both those people that are, doing well and part of those people that are struggling.
Lisa, anecdotally, I continue to receive information from people indicating they're not snowbirds any longer, or as they're moving down here, they're not moving down to be 6 months in a day and keep it a property, somewhere up north, for example. This is a year-round proposition now. Being that you're on the front lines, what is the reality of that, and how has that also factored into what's driving the market right now?
Yes, one of the interesting things, and it's not a big surprise, I think, to anyone, is our average age of the person moving into Florida is dropping. Why is that? Well, people can work from home. They can work from home anywhere. They are moving, and we're seeing this even in our sellers. Our sellers can work anywhere, and they are leaving Palm Beach County and going to other areas too. The Northeast, California even, and we're not their first choice, let's be clear, but we are on their list of things and places to consider. Those people are like, I can work from home. I am working from home. My company has said this is a long-term thing, so they keep their income, and many of those are with high incomes in the Northeast. They can live here and enjoy our amazing lifestyle here year-round, and they are moving. They are coming down here because they can afford more. Obviously, our tax situation is better, and let's face it, a driving force is that they can be outside in January eating, walking, going to the beach, all the things that we sometimes take for granted here. I mean, as we put our sweaters on, but the Northeast is loving this opportunity that we're open and that it's easy to live a safe COVID lifestyle down here with all of our outdoor options.
Yeah, no question. It's much better to ride out a pandemic in sunny South Florida as opposed to being snowed in the Northeast, to go along with the high taxes and everything else that they so often struggle with. So the flip side of this, of course, is if you're looking to buy, it is never a fun proposition to have to buy into a very competitive real estate market. But it doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. As we know, far more often than not, if you're going to be in place for a minimum of 3 years, it is better to buy than it is to rent. In this moment of historic low mortgage rates, that's doubly going to be true. So tell us why it's important to get it right on the buy side.
Well, here's some good news with this competitive situation that we have. When we compare interest rates from today to just a year ago in January, they are down 1%. So a 1% adjustment in interest rates will balance out a 10% increase in the sales price. So it's helping, yes, prices are higher than they were last year. Interest rates are lower. So it's balanced out that affordability a bit, and where it does still make sense. It is not the time to be renting unless you're going to move in a year or you have concerns about your income. Not everybody should own a home. I am not that agent. I believe that there are probably 100,000 out of 400,000 renters that without doubt should and could be homeowners. And we know the earlier you start buying real estate, the more you have equity, which means the more wealth you have long term. It is important. I think everybody that has the income, that has the reserves, should be buying in their 20s. And my kids both did it, and they have invested and moved up and are building wealth. And again, they started in their 20s. It is important to start early with that real estate purchase power.
Yeah, I agree. And that was my first move, too. Rather than renting, first move out of the house was to buy a home in my early 20s. And that absolutely is historically the best path forward to own the roof over your head. And as you've illustrated over the years, Lisa, it's often the lion's share of one's net worth over the course of time as well.
Yes, it's 83% of someone's wealth at retirement. And people really don't understand that. We actually have a free tool for people to be able to see. I say it's a monthly visit with your equity. I think, we visit with hopefully our family, or someday we'll get to. We visit with, our coworkers. We visit with our friends. We should also be visiting monthly, at least, with our real estate equity. This tool allows you to visit with it, but also play with it and say, well, what if I made an extra $10 a month in my payment? What if I made an extra $100 a month in my payment? What can I do with that equity? Is it time to maybe invest in something? There's a lot of great quality information, and you are in control. So if anybody's listening and they want to use this tool, it's free. I provide it to my listeners, to my past clients, because equity is so important, and we want to help you build it faster.
Speaking of that tool and other resources, TreuRealEstate911.com. That's TreuRealEstate911.com if you're not already there. And one of my favorite tools, the resources that you provide to us to be able to look for real estate on your website for free as well. Tell us what's different about your resources that you provide for us as compared to, say, a site like Zillow.
Yes, everybody really, once they get off Zillow and get onto our site, they love it. There's a couple of things. It's real time. I get so many calls from prospective buyers that say, oh, I saw this house. It's already under contract, right?
Oh, yeah.
Zillow is not real time. It's not on there immediately, and people don't understand that. So agents have a head start on properties. Here's the big one. Real estate agents don't have to put all their properties on Zillow. All the properties for sale are on my site. In Florida, in South Florida, it's really important. We have country clubs. We have active adult communities. Not everybody wants those. Maybe you're not old enough to live in a community that requires you to be a certain age. You can eliminate those. So you're not having to go, well, can I live there or not? And then the biggie is if you own a home, you can also see pending and sold data. You cannot do that on Zillow. This is a full resource for homeowners and move-up buyers or first-time buyers, and it is an easy site to manipulate and use. And, for those that like to search online, they definitely should be searching on my site.
Yeah, it literally is the resource that real estate professionals use, that you're able to use because the Treus make it available to you for free. So it's not just saying, yeah, this one is better because, no, it's demonstrably as good as it gets out there. And the way that you've provided it for us to be able to use is just an outstanding service. So, Lisa, you provided some good information for us. Any final thoughts about real estate considerations here in the early part of January in 2021?
Yes, I want to reach out and say these are the people that should be calling us. If you want to sell and move out of the area, now is the time. If you want to move up by, it is really the time. If you are renting and you say enough is enough, I want to find my dream home, you need a dedicated buyer's agent on your side to have a chance to win. And here's the last one, and I hate to say this one, but if you are not able to pay your mortgage and you are struggling or you are underwater, many struggling are not underwater, by the way, which is good and bad news at the same time. But if you are any of those people, call us, let one of our experts help you. And Brian, I hear from people all the time, they're shocked. I answer the phone. I meet and consult with people. I love what I do. I don't do this for money. I do this for passion. And I know that my team is the best of the best of the best. And we are here to serve.
There you go. You can reach out to him right now at 561-972-8326. Buying, selling, questions, Treus, they're always ready to help you. Call 561-972-8326. And again, if you're not already there, go check out TreuRealEstate911.com. I'm Brian Mudd for Lisa and Treu. We'll see you next time.